Okay, testing. It appears that we are live. We are gonna play some Dead or Alive 3, but before that, we're gonna watch the countdown for a bit. So please enjoy this. As much as I would like to play some awesome Aerosmith songs, we'll probably have an issue with that. So instead, get some remixes. I am sorry. We'll be back once the countdown is over. Please enjoy these beats.
Could stay awake just to hear you breathing. Watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever. Every moment spent lying close to you, feeling your heart beating, and I'm wondering what you're dreaming, wondering if it's me you're seeing. Then I kiss your eyes and thank God we're together. I just wanna stay with you in this moment forever, forever and ever. I don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream would never do. I still miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream would never do. I still miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Every time I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dust till dawn. I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know it's everybody's sin. You got to lose to know. Say it with me, sing for the year, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Say it with me if it's just for today. Maybe tomorrow the glow will take you away.
These ideas, nightmares, white parents, worst parents, a child, dyed hair, and new likes earrings. Like whatever they say has no bearing. It's so scary in a house that allows no swearing. To see him walking around with his headphones blaring. Loneliness on his own code when he don't care. He's a problem child. What bothers him all comes out when he talks about his fucking dad walking out.
Say it with me, sing for the year, sing for the laughter, sing for the tear. Say it with me if it's just for today. Maybe tomorrow the glow will take you away. Say it with me, sing for the year, sing for the laughter, sing for the tear. Say it with me if it's just for today. Maybe tomorrow the glow will take you away.
Knock, knock, don't knock on the door too hard and get on board this war to take back my heart. My chest is beating in overtime. Delusion flashing left and right, I wonder where the answer lies. Now come and mute the complaints you have. You're hanging back because of the things you lack. You're only joking, right? Ah, ha, ha. You try to break this wall, but fits instead it goes in for a kiss. Like you'd ever get that. Surely now you understand. I'll shoot a bullet right between those eyes. I've had enough, this love will never end. See, make me worry, make me hate it more. It's not enough, I need you to surprise me. Make me feel so I can know for sure. Said it's incomplete. Tap, tap, for even with that we're tight. Hiding myself away from your eyes at times. But still, the perfectionist deep in me is echoing a lonely scream so dizzy and monotony. Knock, knock, let me go in and take the ace. You'll paint your face with tears that don't feel the same. Now heart reinforced up to end this game. You better give up and throw your empty vibe away. Maybe if I take both, maybe if I break both, whichever one I choose, it's me I lose. It's way too tough, I'll let go of this love now. Make it painful, make it hurt me more. It's way too fun, it hurts to even smile now. Make it melt so I can see for sure. I've said it's incomplete so many times, hey. Trapped inside a love I know I can't escape. Like you'd ever get that. Surely now you understand. I'll shoot a bullet right between those eyes. Between those eyes. I've had enough. This love will never end. See, make me worry, make me hate it more. It's not enough. I need you to surprise me. Make me feel so I can know for sure. I've said it's incomplete so many times. Hey. Trapped inside a love I know I can't escape. It's way too tough, I'll let go of this love now. Make it painful, make it hurt me more. It's way too fun, it hurts to even smile now. Make it melt so I can see for sure. I've said it's incomplete so many times, hey. Trapped inside a love I know I can't escape. I've said it's incomplete so many times, hey. Trapped inside a love I know I can't escape.
Okay, this thing on. Welcome to, oh shit, I just realized that I need to move the chat. Hold on. I decided to go for this, no. Let me, the chat box. That. Yeah, I decided to move the TV onto Sankyo-san's head because I did away with the fancy room background we had going on back there. So yeah, this was going to be a Muso Monday, but it turns out that while there were plenty of Valentine's Day videos for hello Darren Mershawn, welcome to the stream. Also hello Pretty Cool Dan. But yeah, we were going to play Dynasty Wars 9 Empires, but the game has been delayed. I mean, it's not by a lot. Over here, it's technically just a few hours. But yeah, the game will actually come out sometime in the middle of the night. Yeah, got pushed back by like, I think 6 hours or something. So we would have already had it. But yeah, there has actually been plenty of the Dynasty Wars 9 Empire's Valentine's memes with people marrying off their favorite characters to each other, which I would have loved to get in on. But that's impossible. So I decided to do the next best thing, which is to play the game with the most attractive roster in the entire fucking genre. Many people found their first waifu or husbando in this series, and yeah, we're gonna stream directly from the Xbox for the first time. This is has been a thing that I wanted to try for a long time now. Also, there is no background music. Let me fix that real quick. Let's see. Let's add a little bit of this. Fill music. That's way down. Okay, does that work for you guys? I wanted to play some of the Aerosmith music so badly, the original tracks, because they go hand in hand with Dead or Alive, but I'm also afraid of copyright strikes, so instead you got awful trap remixes of Aerosmith songs in the intro. I am so sorry. We will actually hear some of their songs in the game though, and at least then I'll have, you know, you can't play Dead or Alive and not hear Aerosmith music. What do you want me to do? It's in the game. But yeah, so we're gonna play a special version of the game. We're gonna play the last version of the game, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the history of Dead or Alive 3, but the Dead or Alive 3 that was released stateside was actually a rushed project where they couldn't actually implement all of the things that they had in mind. So the US version actually lacks at least 1 or 2 costumes for every single character. Some characters don't have their complete movesets, and the intro is actually missing. There is a placeholder intro in the game and the US release, but it only uses like a sort of like a track that they just had lying around, and also some gameplay footage using the in-game engine, whereas the European and Japanese versions were more complete. The order they came out in was US version, Japanese version, and then the European version, and the European version has the most shit by far. For once, we got the long end of the stick. If you are a European, you will know that back in the 90s, every single version of every single game was trash on the European version. This goes back to yeah, it ended in the at the shift of the millennium. Let's see here. Darren Meerschaum was second pretty loud. Oh yeah, I apologize for that. It started out way louder than it was. Yeah, it started out way louder than it was supposed to. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. It's more in the background like it should be now. Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, it started off super loud. The music player was turned up to 120% for some reason. It was supposed to be -10, not 120 plus. But yeah, so we're playing Dead or Alive 3, the European version, the original copy of the game that I have. So yeah, we're gonna look at the new costumes, we're gonna look at the new moves, and we're gonna look at the new intro. All things that most of our friends in the US actually missed out on, especially the new moves. Because Tecmo actually did release an appended disc stateside that added some of the stuff back in. If you had the append disc, you could get the new intro and some of the new costumes, but you didn't get the new moves, you didn't get the new balancing. Like, get this, Hayabusa, in our version of the game, is not the strongest ninja, not even by a long shot. He is, for once, he's still a high tier character, but Ryu Hayabusa in Dead or Alive 3, the European version, is not the menace he used to be. He is light years behind being dubbed the strongest ninja in this version of the game. Light years. The strongest ninja in this version of the game is actually Hayate. Hayate is just the best ninja by, like I said, light years. He's so much better than all of the other ninjas. It's actually not even funny. Like, he's just, I would consider, like, some of his moves to be actually broken in this version because he's so fucking strong. It's insane. And if you're a long-time Dead or Alive fan, that sounds weird. Like, Hayabusa is not even in striking range for being the best ninja. Like, not even in striking range. He's several places outside of the top 3. For once. That's like having a Mishima in Tekken actually be low tier. That rarely happens. Man, there is so much to say about this game. I have so much to talk about. It's crazy. I will just add, because we will be talking about a guy called Tomonobu Itagaki, the guy who made the game. And just for the highlight, I will mention one other guy and not talk about him for the rest of the video. Because if you talk about fighting game developers and fighting game personalities, I really feel like I have to give a shout out to a certain someone. And this is for just a highlight alone, so I can just get this out on YouTube. Because people do not talk enough about a guy called Daisuke Ishiwatari. So before we go into Tomonobu Itagaki and the genius of this absolute madman, give me a few minutes to talk about Daisuke Ishiwatari, because this is a guy who's still around, unlike Tomonobu Itagaki. This guy, Tomonobu Itagaki, is the guy who made Dead or Alive. He did everything. He was the director and producer of Dead or Alive, which means he did all of the things. He decided everything. He decided who he wanted on the project. He decided what the game was going to be, who was going to be in the game, how the game was going to play, who was on the team, who was going to direct the CG movies, the works. But speaking of that, there is one guy, Daisuke fucking Ishiwatari. Let me just check the chat. Hello there, hello Defying Zero, welcome to the stream. I know you're big on DOA, and we're gonna play a very special version of DOA that very few people actually got. Dude just did all for all in DOA, yeah, but there is actually one guy that can beat him, and Tom will never mention this guy ever, because while Tomonobu did all of the things in Dead or Alive, there is one guy who can actually, like, step up to him and say, yeah, Daisuke Ishiwatari. You may have heard of a game franchise that recently had an update and a new game called Guilty Gear Strive. So for a few minutes, I'm gonna talk about Daisuke Ishiwatari. So this guy, this fucking guy, he is, let me bring up the Wikipedia page for this guy, so I can actually mention. Like I said, Itagaki, he was producer and director. Let me see here. Give me a sec. Daisuke. Yeah, you may have heard of Guilty Gear. Okay. 39. Okay, so before we get started, Daisuke Ishiwatari, he is the creator of Guilty Gear. This fucking guy, he is, he was born in South Africa, which makes him South African Japanese. This guy who made Guilty Gear, and when I say he made Guilty Gear, he made the whole thing. He is as follows. He's a video game producer, developer, director, illustrator, musician, composer, and voice actor. So when you look at Guilty Gear, if you played Guilty Gear X, this guy did all of it. When he was making the very first Guilty Gear, this guy did all of the character designs. He drew all of them by hand himself. So all of the artwork that you see of the characters in the Guilty Gear games, Daisuke did those himself. He also wrote all of the songs and played the guitar in all of the songs. So not only did he write all of the songs, he actually played all of the songs himself. He also did the voice acting for Soul Bad Guy, wrote the entire story. He was the battle planner for the game, which meant he designed the whole combat system. He did programming and also the base sprite work that the guy who did the animations actually worked with. Daisuke Shibatari did fucking everything himself. He had a team of 5 people that did the original Guilty Gear called Team Neo Wolf. And he did almost everything himself. The other 4 guys were just there to play the other instruments in his songs and also do the animations for the characters he designed and the programming for the battle system that he designed. So, yeah. Let's see, the stream. Daisuke is known as God for a reason in the GG community. Yeah. So, yeah. I will say one last thing about Daisuke Ishibatari, just to let you know. I don't actually know much about him, but here's a little tidbit. It's a very funny fact. Because Daisuke does not actually talk a lot in the media about, like, what his design philosophy is, except... well, there's a saying where you kind of have to... What is it that he said? Basically, go for broke, you know? Like, be amazing. Do things that are beyond what you think is possible. Which was the design philosophy for the recent Guilty Gear reboot. But early in his career, so Daisuke is mostly known for his amazing guitar riffs, right? So when he was on Team Neo Wolf, 5 people that made a game. And he was a composer, so he wanted to do the music himself. The guy was so fucking over. Even back then, he was like a nobody. Like, that was his first game. This guy got a certain somebody to do some tracks for him. The guy's name that he got was Nobuo Goddamn Uematsu. Nobuo Goddamn Uematsu, the guy who did all of the Final Fantasy tracks. Every Final Fantasy song you ever liked was made by that guy. He got Uematsu to do tracks for Guilty Gear. You know what he actually did with those tracks? Because we're talking Daisuke Ishibatari here, the guy's fucking amazing when it comes to music. He didn't use a single song that Uematsu actually made for the game. Not a single one. Uematsu did more than one track for Guilty Gear and ended up getting none of them actually in the game. You can only play Uematsu's songs if you either use the music player that's in the game or you buy the soundtrack. You can get them as unlisted track 1 and 2. So, Ishibatari, this goddamn lunatic who's so good, he didn't even use Uematsu's tracks when he got them because he felt his own shit was actually better. This lunatic. But yeah, enough about him. I just wanted this to be in the video. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Itagaki, Tomonobu Itagaki, the guy who actually made Dead or Alive, because I have stories about him too. Let me tell you. So we're gonna move over to the game itself. Let me get the screen up. We're gonna boot up the game and we are going to go to the main channel here. Here we have Dead or Alive 3. We're gonna put the audio somewhere around here. The old Xbox intro. Man, my childhood is coming to life. Here we have the Microsoft logo, and you'll see the new intro that we got for the European release. Itagaki's a hero. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of his exploits. I actually did some studying up on him just for this stream. Here, maybe here. I did some tinkering with the audio. Oh, here we go. Here's the new intro. Not in the US release. Yeah, there you go. This version included Hitomi. Well, Dead or Alive included Hitomi for the first time. Dead or Alive 3 included Hitomi for the first time. She was in the all of the versions actually. So we're gonna go into sparring mode. One Chad Arrow versus one Beta Attack Helicopter. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have a look at, like, here's one of the new costumes that we got in the European release. There are actually, I actually checked with Free Step Dodge, which was which is the premier Dead or Alive what do you say, community, I guess. And they to check on info on this version of the game, and they did not actually have complete information. We're gonna go and we'll talk a little bit about the new moves that the characters have. Let's pick a DJ. I always like the Aqua. So here we have a new costume for Tina, this weird ass cowgirl outfit sort of thing. Something like that. Okay, so in the regular version, the first version of Dead or Alive 3, she got a couple of new moves, including the air throw. She didn't have this before. And let's see here. Oh yeah, this thing, the knee into bulldog, I believe it's called. She actually got several new moves in the European version, such as this move, and let's see here, this move. And she also got a throw off of the double submarine, which is this low kick. I already showed this off on Twitter. It's actually kind of tricky to do. I used to be able to do this all the time, but I forgot what the timing is. I can't remember if it's you're supposed to do it early or if when you actually hit them. I can just... I swear it's in the game. It's a just frame. And no, it doesn't actually need a counter hit. It's just a just frame. I have to do it like kinda. I'm not sure what the timing is. Once again, make her turn around. Wow. Oh yeah, here's the thing. The reset. You see how fucking fast that is? You press the back button and the game just instantly goes back to like this position. Fucking Tekken 7 cannot do this shit. Get your shit together, Namco. What the fuck? Why do I have to... Like, I reset the positions of the characters and I have to wait 30 goddamn seconds for the game to load. This game came out in 2004. 2004! Namco! Don't make it so that Itagaki is right about you guys. What the hell? Yeah, I'm doing something wrong. There we go. That's the move. That's the move. The power of the Ninja Gaiden engine. Yeah. So, let's see here. In Virtua Fighter, some hit throws only work if you get a counter hit. And holy snaps, that is fast. Yeah. We can even do, actually, let's do a more complicated stage. And also pick, he told me, because he's in this game. Let's see, I like... let's see here. This one, when you press the X button, because it gives you a different variation of that same outfit. Let's also pick, here's a new costume for Kasumi that she also didn't have in the US version. And let's pick a character, let's pick a stage that has... Yeah, okay. Let's do... I think actually, let's do Lost World. We all know this fucking stage. This is one of the reasons that Hayabusa was a fucking terror. So, if we do the Iron Fist here, and then we do... Oh, what was that? Oh, even though it had to load the second part of the stage, let's do that again. You see, now we're on the second platform. There's a wall, and there's these pillars that you can knock people into. See if I can adjust that correctly, like that. And then, oh, we're on top again. You see how fucking fast this is? Once again, Namco, what the fuck are you doing? Why is this game doing this shit better than Tekken 7? Why? And speaking of that, let's go back to Itagaki. Holy shit, it's the best deal. Oh my god, it's Ember Gem. Holy, I haven't heard from you, and welcome. Yeah, this is Dead or Alive, this is Dead or Alive 3, and I'm gonna talk about Itagaki, the guy who actually made this game. Well, let's see here. Okay, I already told you about the story about how Tom Itagaki, one of the all-time greats when it comes to video game designs, ended his career by burning down the ship that he sailed on. You know, how he went to his boss, demanded his bonus money for him and his team, and when he didn't get it, because his boss didn't believe him when he said, if you don't give me the money, I'm gonna walk right out of here and I will fucking destroy you. Because the boss man actually thought, hey, without us, you're nothing. Of course you're not gonna... you know, destroy the whole company. I don't buy it. And Itagaki was I just did a tape recording of this whole conversation, and I also did tape recordings of all the times you promised us this bonus. So I'm gonna waltz right out of here. He went across the street to the nearest video game journalist, which was probably Famitsu or something, and he said, I have something I want to sell you guys. I have recordings of conversations I had with my boss, and I want him to die in a lake of fire. So, if you can give me a reason to hand this over to you, and by a reason, I mean money, I will sell you the story. It will be a hit for the ages. And he did that, and Tecmo almost died from the ensuing controversy because their stock prices plummeted when people found out that Itagaki was no longer on the team, because everybody believed rightfully so, that without him, they are nothing. So I already told you about that story, but he has so much shit that he talked about, and I brought up the article here. So one of the things that Itagaki was famous for was trash talking video game developers. So here are some of the games that he talked trash about and said, these guys are just, they're not very good. He talked trash about the following games that he thought was beneath him. Metal Gear Solid 2, he didn't think was very good because it lacked interactivity. He thought Final Fantasy X was trash because, once again, it didn't appeal to him. So he thought Metal Gear Solid 2 and Final Fantasy X was trash. He also famously hated Tekken. The only acknowledgement he would ever give the Tekken team was that his family, like his wife and kids, actually played Tekken and quite enjoyed them. That was the only acknowledgement he ever gave them. He also, outside of that, he berated Harada, the guy who made the Tekken series, all the time. All the time. He said Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Tekken Tag, and Tekken 4 were his bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, respectively, worst, least favorite games that he had ever played. Harada, however, had a leg up on him in terms of as popular as Dead or Alive was. Tekken was a goddamn culture. It was so big that when I was in school, you could literally challenge anyone to a game of Tekken and they would accept. It didn't matter if it was the lunch lady, it didn't matter if it was the principal, it didn't matter if it was your classmate, the goth kid, or anyone. If you said, I want to play some Tekken, they would pick you up on it. It didn't matter who you fucking asked. We actually made a game out of that in my class to just challenge random people to a game of Tekken 3 or Tekken Tag and would report if anyone ever turned us down. It never happened. Nobody ever said no, because everybody played the Tekken. So Harada didn't actually acknowledge, because he was like, if I play into this guy's hands, all I'm doing is giving him exactly what he wants, and there's no reason for me to engage in a flame war with Tomonobu Itagaki because everybody knows he's a fucking asshole and I don't want anything to do with this guy. Let's see here. Remember when you challenged me, remember when you challenged the New Year judges to DOA2? Oh my god, I would rather forget about that incident. That was a bad idea on my part. I should have challenged you to Guilty Gear Izuka 3v1 because I would have won that for sure. Challenging you in Dead or Alive 2 was a fucking mistake. I don't remember that, but I'd rather forget. I can tell that story later, maybe. But let's see here. Oh, yeah. There is one more thing. I'm sorry, I keep talking. Instead of playing the game, I'm talking about Itagaki, but this guy is so fucking amazing. One of the games he's also famous for bashing is Heavenly Sword. Heavenly Sword was the first game made by a video game developer called Ninja Theory. And they made another game that is infamous because everybody on the internet bashed that game. It's a little known game called Devil May Cry DMC. You know, the one with Dante? The guy who is supposed to be Dante, but he acts and looks nothing like him. Ninja Theory did that game. Itagaki was bashing them before it was cool. They hadn't even released Heavenly Sword yet, and he was already talking trash about how they are not very good at doing video games, and they rely way too heavily on quick time events, which is a shitty game mechanic that he wished would just go away forever and never come back. So Itagaki was bashing Ninja Theory before it was cool. Now, I had to do some research to actually find, does he actually like fucking anyone? Does he like anyone at all? And I did find 2 examples of companies that he actually did like and praised, which is kind of messed up. Itagaki just hates everyone. But 2 companies that he actually likes. One is R&D development team AM2. They work for Sega. They are most famous for creating the Virtua Fighter franchise. And about them, he said the following: I actually really respect these guys because they clearly know what they're doing. At the same time, though, as much as I like Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution and think it's a great fighting game, it's nowhere near as good as Dead or Alive 3. So, yeah, praise from Tomonobu Itagaki, who said that, you know, I have the highest respect for these guys. You know, Virtua Fighter 4 is an amazing game, but it's still trash compared to the games I do. So, you know, they're good, but nowhere near as good as I am, because, of course. So, yeah, AM2, the guys that gave him the tech to, you know, make his Dead or Alive games on. That was a compliment from him. And then there is another company called Microsoft that apparently last year, when he said he was once again going to do a company, create a company that could actually make games, somebody asked him, okay, so what if you're Tomonobu Itagaki, you work very closely with Microsoft. You were all over the Microsoft. You had like on the Xbox. You were one of the first Japanese developers to actually make games for it, and you were definitely the most successful. So how would you feel if they saw that Tom is back, he's making games, and they gave you an offer to buy your whole studio? Because they've been doing a lot of that lately. And he responded, if Microsoft knocked on my door and they said, we want what you're doing, we wanna make you work for us, that would be an absolute honor for him, because apparently he really likes Microsoft and nobody else, which was uncharacteristic. And apparently also the time he spent since he did Dead or Alive 4, which was the last game he worked on for Tecmo, he has been a teacher, which I also found interesting. He has been teaching people like classes on how to make video games, I guess. It didn't actually specify. You remember it fondly, Embergem says. God damn it! But yeah, let me actually get back on the game itself. So I'm gonna bring up the moves that were added for this version of the game, and we'll go through them very quickly, and we'll talk more about the game itself. But yeah, Tomonobu Itagaki, he is famous for being extremely good and extremely competent video game developer, but he also is known for not being able to shut his trap and also berating other people all the time. Now, let's see here. Guide. We're gonna go to here. How additional moves. There we go. Here. Yeah, okay. We'll just go through them like very quickly. So, we're gonna show off the new moves that were added in this version, starting with Bass, who in this version is actually god tier. He's like easily in the top 3 characters. Bass, this guy, is top tier. Easily top 3. He's actually an actual threat to the rain that was Hayate in this game, believe it or not. One of the I can just show off the reason. Like, he has this thing. That thing is like plus 15 on hit. It's unblockable, it's a grab, it has a forward input, which gives it very, very, very high priority. And then he has this fucking thing. The Super Freak. And the thing about this is when he does this combo, he just does the headbutt and he does this. You see how much damage those two combined? That's like half a life bar if he gets both of them. And because this is so amazingly plus on block, the headbutt. We fix that real quick. Like this thing, it's so plus on block, plus on hit, that the only way to actually avoid the Super Freak, this grab, the only way to avoid it is to either do a low hold or like a high crush attack, like a crouching punch, which he beats by doing this. So you have to guess. Once he gets the headbutt, you have to guess, and every time you guess wrong, you lose a minimum of half your health. That's like one of the reasons. One of the guys I played with was actually really good with this character, and I got the hit by this goddamn thing so many fucking times, and I had to guess, do low hold, or do low hold and risk getting fucking launched, or, you know, try to block and get this thing in my face and lose half my fucking health. Or you could, because this is what do you call that in this game? It's offensive hold. Offensive hold. So if you attack, he can still grab you. Because one of the rules is the triangle system where strikes beats throws. Let's see here. Strike beats throws. And holds beats strikes. And grabs beat holds. So you have this counter system that you can do, of course. If you're familiar with Dead or Alive, you'll know. So but this grab actually this thing actually beats attacks because he's plus like 15. So if you try to hit him out of it, it's not gonna fucking work. He's gonna get the Super Freak, and now he's gonna get a counter hit, which actually ups the damage quite a lot. And if you try to block, you just get grabbed. If you try to sidestep, you just get grabbed instead. If you try to crouch, he can launch you. So you're just stuck in hell. You're just stuck in hell. And that's one of the things that makes him the best character. Also, one of the things that makes this the best game is this animation, where you knock him out of the window, you knock him into this, and yeah, there you go. And once again, if you press the back button, bam! Right back where you started. Once again, fucking Tekken, why do I have load times in your game when this game from 2004 does not? Anyway, so Bass, up tier character. Let's have a look at his other new moves very quickly. Let's see, he's at the top of the list. He also has he has this thing called Combo Crass, new move. Didn't have this before in the previous version. He also has a follow-up, I believe. Let's see. Oh wait, yeah, the double thing. He does not have this in the US version. I actually tried. He only does this thing, and I think this one knocks down in the US version instead of having like this follow-up. Let's see here. He has. Am I doing this right? Yeah. Yeah, he has a follow-up to this. Let's see, and he also has a running grab that's also new. This is like a key move for him nowadays, but he didn't have this in the original. So moving on. We'll play some story mode as well and get the endings. I'll see if I can get all of them. Let's see, Bayman has a couple of new moves as well. Also a new costume, this dive outfit. So if you, yeah, I hate Jan Lee. Fuck this guy. Played so many goddamn Jan Lee mains over the years. I have it like burnt into memory that unblockable fucking kick he has. Forward circle forward kick, you know, that one. If you ever played somebody who uses Jan Lee, you will have that thing burned into your memory as well. And he has the new attack string, which is surprisingly just that move. He has this in like every game after. He also amazingly, I thought this was so weird when I was playing the US version. He did not have this. He did not actually have this. I was like, what is the tank roll for if you can't do the follow-up grab? Like, what does this move even do if he doesn't have that shit? Like, that's so weird. But this was added in the European version, and I thought, like, that's a key Bayman move. That's a key Bayman move. Why did he not have this? Like, that's so odd. Let's see. Rolling Scissors, blah 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 blah. Brad got like 2 new moves. I got 1. The character we're actually going to look at. He had those moves? Yeah, of course he did. That was also like Bayman mains. They would use this move, the roll, all the time because it's also an offensive hold. So you can use it to duck under jabs and get a grab. Even if they are attacking, you can still grab them. The one that got the most moves is this guy though, by far. A lot of characters, they just got like little things, like they got new running move options, or they got tag team throws that they didn't have with like Christy, for example. You got several grabs that or special grabs that you use in tag team mode, and you know, like you still could do tag throws with Christy in the US version. She just didn't have like special animation. But now she does. But this guy, he has, let me see here. I'll see if I can find what the actual input is. It's this flip anyway. He got, let's see here, punch, forward, back, like that. In the US version, he can only like do the flip by itself, but in this one, he has multiple attack strings. Like he can do that. This is a new move. Yeah, there we go. It's a back kick. See, yeah, there. So he has this and a bunch of follow-ups to it. If I can do it correctly. There we go. So that flip, he has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 15 moves that just add this flip. And he can do a kick out of it. So it's just a bunch of stuff where he does the fucking Lars in Tekken. Lars has the infamous up forward 3, which is simultaneously a high crush and a low crush, which means it might just as well be invincible. It's the closest thing that Tekken has to a DP. And this guy had it in Tekken 4. Like this thing, he crouches and jumps at the same time, which makes it really difficult to hit him when he does this. And they also made this cartwheel. It's actually much better in the European version because moves don't track as well. You're actually able to sidestep a lot more than you were able to in the US version. And US version, it was very, very difficult, if not impossible, to avoid attacks by just doing the so-called 3-step dodge. It didn't really work in this version, or the previous version, but in this one you can actually avoid shit, and that makes this move a fucking godlike, because suddenly you can actually avoid attacks frequently with this Hayate Lars, a love story. Yeah. So Hayate with all the new moves, all the new tools. Let's see. He also. Oh yeah. This is also. Let me show you the command for this. This was also. You see the Nakiryu here. Half circle forward, back throw, back forward throw. This was the first time he had that sequence. He did not actually have this in the original version. It's only in the European version that he got that 3-step. It's actually really difficult to do. It's that thing that Hayabusa has, where he has like a 3-step throw. You know, you do one grab, he tosses them in the air, and then he hits them, and then you have a follow-up, or he does like an elbow dash attack in the back. He did not actually have this until the European version of Dead or Alive 3. He has it in 4, but they changed the command to be like fucking impossible to do. I used to be able to do the combo throw, probably not anymore. Yeah, it has like the weirdest fucking input, like half circle forward, back throw, and then like down, back, up forward, back, forward, throw. Some weird shit like that. Like it's hard to even do at all. So yeah. Let's see here, for the tag throws, because this is one of my favorite mechanics. Let me find a character that actually has this. Oh yeah, here we go. Do Hitomi with Hayate. Hitomi with Hayate. Wait. Supposed to do tag mode. There we go. Once again, Hitomi with Hayate. And I don't know, Hina and Base or something. This throw is new. Nothing too special, but it's better than this, where they just do the canned animation. In this one, she actually does an uppercut, and he comes down with like a special grab. So that was added, because they felt like Hitomi really should have a special grab with Hayate here. We also have, of course, Tina, who has a ton of grabs, and Bass as well, who has a ton of grabs with freaking everybody. This is definitely one of my favorite features in Dead or Alive, just period. Like, check these out, like the double. This thing. And of course my absolute favorite. I actually intended to hit you with this Ember Gem in the tournament when I challenged the judges. My hope that the thing that I tried to do immediately and also backfired because I whiffed was specifically Hayabusa does not have his Ninja Gaiden outfit. We do a recreation of what I was... Okay, with Danger Zone, because that was the stage we played on. What I tried to do was... I was gonna hit you with this. That fucking thing. Like, you... I'm just gonna see if I can... if you can get them to hit the wall. Like that. You see how much fucking damage that did? I was hoping to get you with a round start with that move, and I fucking missed. Yeah. Because I also needed to get you towards the wall. So I was gonna hit you with him, switch characters immediately, and do this. That was the plan. But I messed up. So he was gonna be the front man, but it was only gonna be something like that, and then grab. Like right away, and then I got beaten pretty badly, and I choked because I just lost half my health myself because I missed. Yeah. The story was that there was a competition at a video game event, and one of the competitions was that you could challenge the judges in any game, and I got cocky, so I gave them a list of fighting games to play, and being a moron, I allowed them to pick the game themselves, and the Ember Gem here challenged me to Dead or Alive, which I had a plan for, but I didn't realize he was actually pretty good at Dead or Alive, so I thought my plan was to actually steamroll one of them with that grab and just take the win from there. But this guy actually knows how to play Dead or Alive pretty well, so I got steamrolled myself. Because I wasn't ready for somebody who actually knew what they were doing. So anyway, let's play some of the story mode. Who do you want? Because we're gonna pick a character and we're gonna beat the game with that character. Do you guys feel like seeing any particular ending? Hayate perhaps is pretty badass, or you want some sexy times with Christy, or do you want the more somber ending, the true ending with Ayane perhaps? Or do you want to see Hayabusa doing Hayabusa things perhaps? Maybe Hina's latest career choice, because man, this lady's all over the place. She wanted to be a wrestler, and then she wanted to be a rock star, and then she wanted to be an actress, and then she wanted to be like a fashion model. Oh! Yeah, who starts around with a high hold? Oh yeah, because that's why I whiffed, because you countered it. That's what happened. Yeah. I just remembered I tried to hit you and I didn't connect for some reason. But yeah, because you did a high hold right away. Because you thought I was up to something, I bet. I think it's... I'm willing to bet it's because you knew that you can actually start pressing buttons before the game actually says go. Because that was the plan. Like if I, you know, how if you can do that shit against the AI and you can actually hit them before the match officially starts and get a cheap shot in. And starting the round with a high hold suggests that you knew that that's a thing you can do. So yeah, who do you want? Maybe Helena, who has the official ending of Dead or Alive 4? Or, Brad, the weird character with like 8,000 moves? You wanna see me struggle with this guy against fucking Genra? Because I can assure you, playing this guy against the final boss is hard. Brad Wong is really good at knocking people down, and Genra is really good at punishing you for knocking him down. Or maybe one of the grapplers, because the grabs don't work against the last boss, because he's an asshole. Leon is a fave, okay. So, Leon then, I am gonna pick this outfit, because that is a badass costume. Let's see if he still has the thing. Back, yeah, there we go, Back punch, kick, grab. I love this combo. And he also has ground throws. He does not have Bayman's versatility though, he just hits really hard. DOA trailer was phenomenal at the time. I actually never saw that one, I just heard about it. Because it was all over the news about how this game had like a controversial commercial, but it never aired over here. Bosses being jerks? Nah. No, she did a mid punch. Who would have figured? One of the things that absolutely blew me away in this game was how you can hit somebody into the palm tree and then a coconut can fall and hit you on the head and actually do damage. I was like, Holy shit, that's so like interactive. Damn, this game is so cool. Here we have Rolande. They also mistranslated, it's actually supposed to be Laura. That was one of the things that... oh wait, I can tell that story later. Out you go. Oh, that wasn't breakable? Neck hanging tree. A classic move if you're a Jackie fan in Virtua Fighter. Neck hanging trees. The good grab. Ah yes, running low kicks, the classic knockout. Yeah, I know. Let's see if I can remember how to do his 3-step throw. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh wait, there's a fourth part, I forgot. Oh no. Damn it. Once more with gusto. Damn it. There is a fourth move you can do there, but she keeps breaking it. Yeah, I fucked up. I'm not sure I remembered it, but I think it's just punch. Let's try it again. Ooh. Okay, let's knock her out the window and then try it again. Never mind. There we go. Ah, sorry, we didn't go through the window. Yeah, it's yeah, it is punch. I thought he got that in Dead or Alive 4, but never Leon main. I like the character, I like all of the characters, but it's pretty tough to make it this far. Strength always prevails, as you will soon see. Sure, whatever you say, Jan Lee, I'm the strongest there is. No, you don't. Damn it. No! This character is the bane of my existence. Out you go. What? Okay, now then. Limps, where are you go? Where you're going, you won't need those. Leon, 2004. Yeah. This guy breaks arms and legs like he's Pony Jaw. And here we have the final boss. This guy is a scumbag. This freaking perspective makes this fight so much harder than it needs to be. You can never tell where you are in relation to him. And he also, you can't grab him, and you can't get counters to work properly. Ah! And I can't tell the difference between those fireballs, which are unblockable, and when he does the flamethrower, because the animation looks the same. He puts his hand up, and then sometimes he throws fireballs that you can't block, and sometimes he does the flamethrower, which you have to crouch. So these you have to sidestep. So he forces you to play this really basic, just I'm gonna try to punch because nothing else works. You hope you knock him down and that he doesn't block and punish you like that, and it's just a mess. There we go. Sidewalk 1 being good against him. Yeah. It's just that the flamethrower will beat sidewalks. So it's you can deal with it, but you have to be you have to have good reaction times. There is a costume that you can unlock in this version that is not in the US version as well for Kasumi. You have to beat the game in 1 credit to get it. So you have to play through the whole story mode and not lose a single match. Which includes Genra. It took me forever to get that costume because Genra is such a bastard. And here we have Rolande. Interestingly, in this game you actually have to unlock the credits. You don't actually get the credits until you beat the game with every single character. Let's see here. Oh my god, there's so much going on in the chat. Let's see. Sophie Catgill says it was really good and showed the dynamic stage transitions, crazy stages. Tempest got a ticket. Oh, okay, the trailer. Ah, nice. I will say that in Sweden we actually got very extremely few trailers for video games back in the day because they were generally considered to be targeted at children, and that was just straight up illegal. I think it still technically is. It's just that there are so many ways around it that it doesn't matter anymore. Ember Gem says, I always thought her name was weird because I had a teacher named Roland, only he was a 50-year-old man. Yeah. It was actually, oh yeah, let me tell you about that. If you ever played Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2, there's another story about Itagaki and why he was so pissed with his boss. He was, and I mean pissed. Like, when he walked out of Tecmo and tried to burn the whole company down, he was not done. He also sued the big man Tecmo boss for all of his money because he just had a beef with him and just couldn't let it slide. One of the reasons was the bonuses. One of the reasons was stuff that he said during meetings that Itagaki said was wholly unreasonable. We don't actually know what that was. It was in the tape recordings, but I've never actually heard them because they're in Japanese. I wouldn't understand. But there was another reason why when he started getting really pissed. And what happened was that they screwed him over in a way that he never forgave them for, which involved he did a demo, or a beta for Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2, because the first version of Dead or Alive 2 came out on the Dreamcast, and it had several different iterations. Limited Edition was one of them, which added more stuff, and then they were gonna port it to the PS2. And the boss required Tomonobu to basically give him a proof of work to show them how he was doing, because he was adding the finishing touches to the game, and they wanted to see if it was handled, because the PS2 back in the day was notoriously difficult to program for. So they had a reason to okay, we're actually going to need you to show us that you can actually pull this off. We have a deadline coming up, and you need to, let us know that this game is going to be what you say it's going to be. And Itagaki, being confident as always, because if anything is true about this guy, is that he's cocky as fuck. So he sent them the beta and said, okay, this is what we're working on. It's still a work in progress. I'm not happy with it, But yeah, this is what we're working on. As you can see, the game is running very smoothly. We've implemented all of the mechanics. We just need to add finishing touches because the game isn't done yet. They took that shit and put it on the shelves. It's like, yeah, this is Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2. You know, finally, Dead or Alive 2 comes to the PlayStation. And Itagaki was like, what the fuck did you just do? You just took my beta and you released it as if it was the full game. You assholes! And if you play Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2, just know that according to Itagaki, that was barely a beta. He was nowhere near done with that game. And if that is a beta, then, like, what? Because Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2 is fucking excellent, but according to him, it's trash. Like, it's not... He really felt like you just took what I consider to be a beta and you pretend it's the full game. I hate you guys. You embarrass me. What the hell did you do that for? So, yeah. That is a thing that happened. But yeah, if you ever played Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2, keep that in mind. It's a beta. Dead or Alive 2 EU is the definitive edition. Yes, one of the things that he wanted to do was that there is a typo in the text and the translation wasn't done, which is why Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2 like has some really weird lines that seem, I mean, it's one of the best things about the game, because the story mode in Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2 is fucking hilarious. But that was one of the things that they wanted to fix, was that they felt like the translation was a bit too literal, and they wanted to spruce it up to be a little more closer to that the subtitles was gonna be closer to the actual meaning of what they were saying, and a little less, you know, the actual words that they used. Which is why, I talked about this before, but it's why Ayane seems to say that she's the female Tengu, even though we know that Neo Tengu is the actual one. And in the ultimate version of the game, he makes it clear that, no, I'm not saying that I'm literally a female Tengu, because that doesn't make sense. What I'm saying is, I just beat this guy, which means I may as well be one, because I'm that fucking strong. That's what she actually means, not I am a female Tengu. Like, that's so weird. And also Hayate is simply announcing that he is Hayate, Shinobi of the Wind, and then he just jumps off, and that's the whole fucking ending. That's not how that was supposed to go. Oh, Arya Mikado, welcome to the stream. Arya Mikado says, I mean, there's not much to fix about Ein Fightman, also Hayate, apparently. Yeah. They did change the translation in Ultimate a little. To be a little, it's just slightly less abrupt. But yeah, that was one of the things he wanted fixed. There's also the Rolande thing that he wanted to fix because there was a typo. They spelled the name wrong. It just says Roland instead of Rolande, which was what they thought that the name was going to translate into. So in this version they added the E, but they still got it wrong because it's still supposed to be Laura, not Rolande. There's also... again, Hayate challenging Ayane, and he says, I'm coming, like he's in a porno flick, and in the new translation he says basically just that, I'm ready to fight. And instead of screaming why, she just makes a sound that makes her sound like concerned. But yeah, that is one of my favorite lines. He just says, "I'm coming!" And she just screams, "Why?" It's like, that's not what he says. He says like, "Let's fight." And she's like, "Oh no." Ari Mikado says also, yeah, sure, but he definitely fights people for not yeah, he's still in fight mode, because he still does the things where he says, "I'm ready to go," and she's like, "But why are you ready to go all of a sudden?" Like, why did you decide that? Because he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna fight people. I don't know anything else right now, so I'm ready to go whenever you are." And she's like, "But I'm not ready." And he's just gonna start throwing hands because he doesn't care. Pretty Cool Dan. Oh wait, let me pause. Pretty Cool Dan says, "Are you excited for King of Fighters 15 this week?" Directed at Ari Mikado, who says, "If I could afford, I'd get it right now." Yeah, I'm not getting it for a while because I have a special version ordered that is gonna take a while. But it's okay because I did pre-order Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, which will arrive in 5 hours. Ah, shit. This guy has, he has like 0 moves. Oh my god. No! Okay, we're not getting that costume. Oh. There is an easier way to do it, but it takes forever. Oh yeah, the unlocking system was also something that they wanted to change. Because unlocking stuff in Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2 was an absolute pain. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. Apparently they implemented it because it was easier to do like memory card stuff. To like sort of cheat. But what they wanted to do was actually a bit more straightforward, like instead of exploiting saves and like getting high scores and stuff, because that was more easily manipulated by the developers themselves. They actually wanted to just make it so that you could unlock them by fulfilling certain easier requirements. But doing it that way was made it harder to test. It was much easier to just punch in a couple of numbers in like survival mode high scores and stuff like that, instead of like playing the game over and over and over and over to unlock all of the costumes. So that was another thing. They also wanted more stages for tag team mode. In PS2 Vanilla, the tag team mode only really has the one stage. Whereas if you play Ultimate, you can play tag mode on, well, several stages. Let's see. TempestTO says, "I'll have to get it normally. I want the DLC, but I'm a little short. At the same time, Rock and Crew aren't super important, though B-Janet looks fun. Also gotta get Triangle Strategy. I was trying out the demo for Triangle Strategy the other day. How is it?" So we've got another character. I'm just gonna keep going, see how many endings we can get. Do Hayabusa next. We're just gonna do them in the order they show up in. Maybe we can get all of the endings. Oh. Oof. March 2nd, but the demo for the main game is up to chapter 3. Ah, okay. Only fighting will settle this. Shobio? That's not what she said. Yeah. One of the things that this game has that they removed in later games is that you can actually KO people by knocking them off ledges and into interactable. Later games they made it so that you can't. So like, no matter how much damage it does, it's gonna give them leave them with a sliver of health. But in this game you can just knock them off a ledge and it will KO them. Or it can. The Ember Gem says everyone has knees of fucking steel in this game, jumping down 100 feet and landing standing. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that because like a lot of the landings look okay, like jumping down a staircase, like you can do that, but some of them are just insane. Wow, Brad with the buttons. Oh, I missed. I got a bit mixed up with the free choice system in the game. I think there's increase your stats. Free choices in Dead or Alive. Grab, strike, hold. Or block, which is surprisingly effective. Ah, that was supposed to be a kick. No. Ah, he didn't have his grab yet? Nope. Okay. That was a thing that got a lot of people pissed off when I was in the tournament circuit for Tekken. Because I learned to play free fighters by Dead or Alive, and in Dead or Alive you get a points bonus if you do a taunt every time you do a taunt. But the only time to do it safely is when the opponent is KO'd, and that was how I unlocked a lot of the costumes in Dead or Alive 2 on the PlayStation 2. Because a lot of it was based on like scores and stuff. So I would make it a habit to always add a taunt whenever I got a KO to get like those extra 5k of points to make unlocking stuff easier. And I kept doing that shit in Tekken via key charge. And oh boy, it pissed off a lot of people when I did that shit. Ah, damn it. It got so bad that there was another player in Gothenburg that did the same shit, and they made us have a challenge match where we had to fight each other in a 1st to 10, and whoever lost had to stop doing that shit. Thankfully, it was one of the few times I actually beat him, so I still kept doing it, and he had to allegedly stop. I don't know if he did, but they made us fight for that shit. The guy was a Julia main, so it made a little more sense, actually. Well, I was using Asuka, where key charging is fucking pointless. Unless you're going for the special mount attack, which I never did. Oof, double mid. I'm late, but I apper. You apper? What does that mean? Ah, he did that shit again. Yeah, I can do it. Ah, you up here. Welcome to the stream. That loser EXE. I still don't like using that, but I don't know what else to say. Hajimon Ninja. You don't stand a chance. You don't know Genro like I do. Since when have you grown more powerful than me? Hayabusa, everybody. The guy does not think very highly of anyone, especially commoners. But it also includes ninjas with Hayate. They're like, oh, you think you're stronger than me? That's a laugh. I mean, you're my buddy, but I'm fucking Hayabusa. What the hell can you do that I can't? The movie Hayabusa, yes. That guy was not in the movie a lot. It was all about Kasumi Ayane Hayate or Kasumi Ayane Christy and Tina, depending on what part of the movie you paid attention to. Ah, no. Oof. Ah, this guy. And I ran straight into it. No. Oh. No, I missed. Oh. Sorry, the bot. It's fine. Ah! Okay. Thank you, game. Yeah, generalized. Not quite SNK boss, but he's nobody's quite SNK boss though. Bots are always fun, overreacting. Yeah, I know. But yeah, better safe than sorry, because the mods can sort that shit out. I'd rather have an overzealous bot than none at all. I've seen stuff on streams. Oh yeah, you can actually use these, you can actually have the FMVs in widescreen if you want to, but I chose for free because that's the original aspect ratio. Still though, like that's one hell of a thing to add. Because they added a widescreen ratio because the original Xbox actually had support for high definition resolution. This thing went all the way up to 1080p before that was even a thing. Just in case. The PS2 technically did that as well, but it was only ever used for one of the Tony Hawk games, I think. But yeah, if you go into, let's see here. Because that's like another testament to this how before, like how far ahead of its time this game was. Ending movie, you can actually pick 16:9. So, you know, like, this game didn't need a bunch of upgrades to port to the Xbox One, which I'm currently playing it on, because a lot of the shit was already in the game. Like, high definition resolution, already in the game. Widescreen support, already in the game. 60 frame gameplay support, already in the game. They just had to put this shit on the Xbox One. The only change that they did was that the US version assumes that you have the booster disc installed. And for the European version, it doesn't change jack shit. Well, actually, the only thing that it changes is that it assumes that you have a setup that can actually support widescreen resolution, because you had to choose that in the Xbox main system menu type thing. Like if you actually had NTSC support, widescreen, 16:9, all that shit, or 60 frames per second support, like you actually had to pick that manually. So this version of the game just assumes that all of the above is true. But yeah, the high resolution thing already in the game. You just had to select it in the Xbox menu itself. Yeah, trolls coming in and spamming. Yeah. I was super careful for a while when the hotspot was going on. I never actually stopped streaming because of the hotspot. I just increased, I just told my bot to be really fucking, like, careful. I've toned it down since, but yeah, I didn't want to stop simply because the hotspots were a thing. Fuck those guys. Even though I'm a trans streamer, I didn't want to, like, I'm not gonna be intimidated by these guys, but I have to do something. So I made the bot super harsh. And now I've lightened it up quite a bit, but it still has like the bare minimum. So it still has some censorship going on. But I told it not to be overzealous. So you can still write words like that, like stuff that you could hear on like American TV, like damn, is okay, like it won't censor that. Oh shit, I forgot. No, you don't. Oof. Oof. I messed up. So, chat, which are your favorite characters from Dead or Alive? I had to think long and hard about that myself, because it was a tie for years. It was the Mugen Tenshin sisters, aka Ayane and Kasumi. And who was the favorite character depended on, like, it changed by the week. So I eventually just decided that my favorite characters is those two. But over the years, it became more and more like, no, Ayane is the waifu, she's the best. DOA3 helped with that, because I quite enjoyed how she's fucking impossible to please in that game. If you want Ayane as your partner character, she's very difficult to please, because if you play DOA3, it's actually surprisingly interactive with, like, how the characters, like, what they actually like. In the first game, for example, like, Tina was the easy mode because she likes everybody. She doesn't care who you team her up with. She's just friendly with everyone. She's very easy to buy items for because she likes a bunch of things. Like, anything that has America on it. Like, American flag, American beach volleyball, American, like, flag bikinis. Anything that's a musical instrument, and anything that is American food, like French fries, burgers, that sort of thing. And then you had Ayane, who just fucking hates everything. She doesn't like doing stuff in the morning. She gets mad if she has ever gets a sunburn. She doesn't like anyone on she dislikes every single team combination. It goes from the only one she has is Kasumi. Is in the category of Ayane has dislike Kasumi. Everyone else is hate. So I really like that because it's like, oh my god, Ayane, you have to treat her like a fucking princess or she will hate you. She's also extremely difficult to buy items for because anything that she likes is super rare. Oh, that didn't work. Let's see. Tempest TO says Christy, Elliot, Marie Rose, and Honoka. Well, if you like Marie Rose, one of the things I like about her is obviously she's a Swede. And one thing that they tell you about that, like, oh, you know she's a Swede because her favorite pastry is prinsessbakelse, which is like, oh my god, you almost got it right, because prinsesstårta, which is actually called, is my favorite kind of cake. It's awesome. It's so good. I love that shit. But it's not called prinsessbakelse, it's called prinsesstårta, which means princess cake. It is a pastry that you can buy pretty much almost anywhere. It's like a green cake that's filled with cream and jam. Cream jam, and like the green stuff on top of it is marzipan, I think you guys call it. Good to see people playing the better version of Dead or Alive 3. Oh yeah, I was just saying. This is one of the rare instances where the Europeans actually got the best version of something for once. We got shafted throughout the entire 8, 16, and 32-bit eras, where every game we got was an inferior version of the one that everyone else got, except for these games. Another example was Konami. They spoiled us. We got the European Extreme Difficulty. I mean, it's named European Extreme Difficulty. Everyone else we got shafted by. It's just Konami and Team Ninja. Also, hello, Dio Scott. Where are you tuning in from, if I can ask, if that's okay? Let's see here. Defying Zero. Yeah, I'm classic. I love Hitomi, Ayane, and the original poster girls. Why the fuck was Europe on 50 Hz? Yeah. Every game was on 50 Hz. We actually did a tournament, just like a joke tournament that had original PlayStation 1 50 Hz European version of Tekken 3. That version of the game plays like it's fucking underwater. I hate that version so much. God, I'm sorry, you guys. No. Oh, I got him. No. Dio Scott says, "You're from the U.S., huh? But you still know about European version Dead or Alive 3. That's pretty cool." I will say, actually, since you are from the U.S., if you own an Xbox One and you buy the game from the Xbox store, and then before you download, you change your region in the settings to the UK, and then try to download a game. It will actually download the European version of the game. I actually tried this myself, and it really does work. Ah! Oh, you know that? Yeah, okay. But then you know about the new moves too. And you know about the terror that was Hayate in the European version. I was talking about before about how Hayabusa actually, like, he's not the best ninja in this version of the game, because that title goes to Hayate, and Hayate is a billion times better than Hayabusa in this one. Like a billion times stronger. Hayabusa is just like kind of up there in like the higher tiers, and Hayate is just leagues beyond him. Second 350 Hz felt a little quicksand. Felt like quicksand. Yeah. Oh my god. Also other games like fucking Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 on the PS1. PS1 versions. Garbage. Because they fucked up the aspect ratio too. So we got like shitty frame rate and shitty aspect ratio with giant black borders and a like off-aligned screen. Hated European games back then so much. So much. And this is why I am such a proponent for like region locks being not a thing. I hate region locks so much because of that. Because I grew up in the 80s and 90s and I had to deal with that 50 Hz bullshit throughout my entire childhood, and I hate it so much. And the reason I knew about it so early was because my uncle had an multi-X Super Nintendo, modified Super Nintendo that allowed it to change, it allowed him to press a button to make the Super Nintendo act on the fly. Like, you could do this while you were playing the game, and it would start acting like it was the an NTSC version, so it would do the 60 Hz thing. And you could do this while you were playing. So I played some games on that. Some of them were US imports, most of them actually. But then I played some games like, say, Street Fighter 2 on his multi-X, and then I hit the button, and it's like, this is what the US version was like. And I was like, oh my god. Is this what we've been putting up with? This is so bad. I can never go back. Let's see here. Leo Scott also says, the physical version of Dead or Alive 3 is also compatible with the American Xbox One series. Oh wait, Xbox One and Series XS. Oh, okay, I wasn't actually sure about that at first. So I do have, actually, the one Xbox game I actually owned on physical that I still had was Dead or Alive 3. This game was like, even long after I stopped buying the Xbox consoles, because when the Xbox 360 came out, I was actually one of the kids that got the PS3 instead, specifically because of Metal Gear Solid 4, a game called Folklore, and because we knew that Final Fantasy X was coming well in advance. So I got it because I wanted those games. And obviously Final Fantasy X also came to the 360, but I didn't know that at the time. The other two are actually still to this day PS3 exclusives. I don't think they ever ported Metal Gear Solid 4 to anything else, and also Folklore is owned by Sony, so you can be damn sure that game never comes out for anything else. To play Zack. I do like the character, I just cannot play him to save my life. I also like Hitomi, but I'm Ein main, so I don't actually play Hitomi very well either, as you saw. Let's see here. It's sad that DOA gets a bad rep. It's a really good fighting game series. Yeah, it is. I was actually just watching a video when I was trying to do some research on finding more stories of Tomonobu Itagaki, who made the game. And even an old IGN video that talked about him, they actually did mention that the game, the series gets a lot of flack, but once you get down to it, it is actually a quite competent and good fighting game. But it completely gets overshadowed all the time by controversy. It doesn't help that Tecmo plays into that all the time. You know how every time they release a new game since, well, since DOA3, they say that this time we're gonna tone down some things. And it looks like they're gonna tone down some things. And then they backtrack and say, nah, it's Dead or Alive. You know what this game is about. And then they give us the most hyper-sexualized costumes that they can think of. They did that with Dead or Alive 4, they did it with Dead or Alive 5, and they did it again with Dead or Alive 6. When it came to Dead or Alive 6, I know that the people at EVO didn't even believe them. They were like, yeah, you say that you're gonna clean up your act, but you always do this. And then you completely change your mind. You're not gonna be on the roster. And then they did exactly the thing when they had a chance to just show off the game on stage. It wasn't even a tournament, they just wanted to show a trailer, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna do a grab montage with the most sexualized grabs with all of the characters in the most scantily clad outfits, because that makes for a good trailer. And the EVO crew were like, you guys are fucking banned. Like, not only will you never ever be at EVO, you will not even be allowed to be here to promote your game, you assholes. And then Mr. Wizard had a little incident, and it turns out that how do I put this? He didn't live what he preached, to put it mildly. The guy who was in charge of EVO came off as being much more of a creep than the Dead or Alive team ever were. And now EVO is, it's never coming back like the way it was. Let's see, Dio Scott says, a lot of people take DOA for granted. Defying Zero says, the DOA Beach Volleyball started it. Dio Scott says, and the EVO founder turned out to be a pedophile who likes... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. EVO founder turned out to be an absolute deviant who was way worse than these guys ever were. Even compared to Itagaki, and like, I mean, Itagaki is famous for being an asshole, but at least he's not into kids, you know? He'll always have that over Mr. Wizard, even today. Which is messed up. So yeah, RIP. Who's your daddy? You don't know what you're talking about. You'll never be able to kick it like me in Vegas. Well, too bad. I'm winning the prize money. Guess who? Oh yeah, Zack winning the prize money and putting it all on the table in Vegas is actually canon. He actually did get the prize money. So technically, even though Ayane is the one that her ending is the canon one, Zack actually wins this tournament. Like, that is canon. He really did that. It's not a what if. he really did win the tournament, and he really did take all of the money, put it all on a roulette table in Vegas, and won. Dead or Alive 6 is forever vindicated. Yeah, one of the things that it actually comes back over and over is that Itagaki actually went on record and said this, and also the current Team Ninja are still holding on to this very day, which is interesting. Like, the thing is, they actually have standards. They will not allow their characters to be shown naked via mods, or even when the characters showed up as guest characters, like Ayane, for example, showed up as a guest character in Senran Kagura. And in Senran Kagura, you have these finisher moves that you can do that strips the opponent out of their clothes. But if you use one of the Dead or Alive characters, they will always still have their, underwear on. Which, those are the only characters that actually have that thing going on. So amusingly, the Dead or Alive team actually does have principles that they stick with pretty hard. And they successfully sued people that did nude mods for Dead or Alive because they hate that shit. Which is so weird. You figure, like, these guys don't like nude mods. The Dead or Alive team, are you shitting me? And they're like, nah, we hate that shit. You try that, we'll sue you and take your money as punishment because you don't get to do that to our characters. They're more hardline with that than fucking Capcom is. Which also caused a controversy in the Xbox days when people started modding this game to do exactly that, and Tecmo went after them with fucking pitchforks. Or even the fan base started thinking like, what is this holier than thou bullshit? Damn, I missed. Also, we have one new person. Let's see here. And Doyle, DOA marketing make it super serious after launch, release costumes for girls and make them more fan service than before. DOA in a nutshell. Exactly, that was what I was talking about. They always talk about how they're gonna tone stuff down this time for promotional purposes, and then once the game is actually on the shelves, they go right back to exactly the thing that they are famous for. They have done this so many times now, you can predict it. When DOA 7 comes around, they'll do that thing again, like they always do. The DOA team has principles, really. Yeah, like I said. Dio Scott says, DOA was a main game in Evo only once with DOA 4. Oh yeah, like, yeah, way back. Defying Zero says their fan service is purely fan service and literally... Yeah. They are for fan service, but it stops at fan service. Let's see here, so we're gonna do Genfu. Wait, let's pick his new costume. No wait, never mind. Let's not do the elf on a shelf Genfu. Let's do cool tiger. Year of the Tiger Genfu. AI never messes that up. I like this attack so much. I noticed from DOA 5 marketing, it was fishy when they did it again for DOA 6. Especially DOA 6 showed a close-up of people being punched in the face. Yeah. Yeah, when they did it for the DOA6, I thought it was so funny when like the anti-censorship brigade got like upset about that, and I was like, it's the DOA people. They always do this shit. I can't believe you're falling for this. Like, oh, we're like, oh no, they're gonna go all PG police. I actually, you know, I lost all my respect for them because they're falling in with the PG crowd. I'm like, are you serious right now? They're not gonna do that. They never do that. Why is this a controversy? I can double this though. Impossible. Let's see here. Dio Scott says, fun fact, DOA3 was the first fighting game to support true widescreen and... Oh, yeah, it was... It was technically the first fighting game to support patches too, but it was the old school way with the appended discs and, you know, like you had to get physical media to patch your game. That was actually a thing that Itagaki himself liked doing. He, especially for Ninja Gaiden 2, which was one of the first games on console to ever get a patch. Not the first, because that would be Unreal Championship, but it was one of the earliest examples. And he would patch that shit, like, for years. I was so surprised when Ninja Gaiden 3 came out and found out that my PS3 copy of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 had recently gotten a patch that completely changed the meta of the game. I was like, are you serious? Like, Ninja Gaiden 3 is right around the corner and you're still patching this shit in big ways. Like, they completely changed how the dodge mechanic works. Ah! Yeah, LMAO. Speaking of which, I bought the DOA3 right now. Oh! I have that game on the PS4. Make sure you boot it up using... if you want to play DOA3, make sure you boot it up using a non-Japanese account. So that... Because they localize the shit out of that game in some really cool ways. So, the Japanese version of that game is actually pretty crazy when it comes to microtransactions. Like, they are hard on that. But if you play a non-Japanese version, like say you boot it up with a European or US account, it actually nerfs the microtransaction aspect of the game really hard. You can buy almost anything in the game with just the regular currency that the game gives you. You don't have to buy microtransactions, those gold cards, at all. But if you play the Japanese version, they are everywhere. Everything is so fucking expensive. You just can't get anything without paying them actual money for those gold tickets so you can actually get shit. But in the non-Japanese versions, you can. It's not quite as liberal as the original game was. Oh my god, are you serious? Ah. Got the Hong Kong version. What about the DLCs? Are they carried over from the US account? Yes, yeah, because the way it works on the PS4 is if you buy a game, like say I got Tales of Berseria from Arya, who was in the chat before at least, and because I had a US version, if I wanted to get DLC, I had to buy the DLC from the US store, the same store that I got the game from. But as long as I do that, it works. But Berseria is also out in Europe, and I actually did try to get like one of the cheapest items, and it didn't actually transfer properly. So, you know, US game, play on a European account, the game is out in Europe as well, you try to get the DLC from the European store, doesn't work. You have to get it from the same store that you got the game from. So yeah, if you got the Hong Kong version, you can get the DLC from the Hong Kong store and it will work just fine, even if you switch accounts. You just have to buy the DLC first, then switch accounts, once it's actually installed. What? This AI though. So yeah, that's how it works. Anything that you get from, if you get a game from a particular store, as long as the DLC comes from that same store, it works. The catalogs are, it's a bit weird. Like, the catalogs are just, how would you say, like, you should get the catalogs when you're on the Hong Kong account. Make sure that they're installed before you boot up the game, and then switch accounts after that is done and play. And the way that catalogs work is that they only really add swimsuits that you can buy in the game, so it won't actually show up as like a thing. The catalogs just give you more options for stuff to buy in the game, so you can see them in the store when you're actually playing the game. They are not gonna show up anywhere else, like in DOA3. Yeah. Ah. Oh my god, come on! Oh no, I missed! Ah, this guy, ah! Oh yeah, that's unblockable. There we go. So this goes for other games too. So let's say I got Judgment for Europe and I wanted this. I downloaded the DLCs rather on my European account, and then I can just log on and open my US account, right? Yeah. I've done this several times. It's exactly how that works. You just have to make sure that you are done with everything that you need to do before you switch accounts, and also make sure you don't boot up the game before, you know, the DLC is installed. So as long as all of that is taken care of, you can actually use whatever account you want and they'll have all of the things. So if the DLC is installed, it will be right there. He saved his kid. The anime, oh my god, like, the quality of these CGs are so fucking amazing considering how old this game is. Like, you look at this character model, you can see like the wrinkles and stuff in his face. This game is from 2004. Like, I know I keep saying this, but god damn, like, I've seen games that came out last year that don't look this good. It's insane. 2001? Oh yeah, wait, 2004 was DOA4, was it? 2001, that's actually even worse. I mean, oh my god. Yeah. There's a reason why you can still buy this. 2001, my god. I must be thinking of Dead or Alive 4. Holy hell. 2004, we were still playing like... Fuck, SNK was still doing 2D fighters. Like, they hadn't even done all of the 2D King of Fighters yet. Brad. Let's, beating Genrai as this guy's, no wonder why it was OG Xbox only. Yeah. It was also like the only system at the time that could even do a game like this. That was also one of the things that Itagaki bragged about. Another quote from him said, you know, my design philosophy is as follows. Use the maximum amount of, let's see here. Use the maximum amount of power from the machine that you can get out of it, you know. Use every ounce, use every advantage that, say, the Xbox has to make this game the best it can possibly be on the Xbox. And he also talked about, like, yeah, utilizing the power of the machine that the game is running on to its absolute maximum extent is something that every video game developer should strive for. But of course, I'm the best there is at doing exactly that. Once again, Itagaki showing off how he basically thinks he's God. Because he made the example by also saying, I'm the best there is at exactly this thing. The PS2, GameCube, and Dreamcast couldn't handle DOA3. Yeah, there's no way. Well, maybe actually the GameCube, because the GameCube was actually at least the second most powerful console. It really gave the PS2 a run for its money. It could do several things that the Xbox could do, such as it had a thing where it could actually unload textures that aren't actually visible on screen. The PS2 couldn't, and that was like one of the things that the Xbox had. That it was really efficient with textures, and the PS2 kind of struggled with that. But it's like if you want a texture to appear anywhere in the game, like say for racing games, Ridge Racer, for example, was a good example of that. Where if you loaded a stage, you had to have all of the textures in memory for the whole stage. Whereas on the Xbox, for example, Project Gotham Racing, like, yeah, we only need to use the memory for what is actually on screen. Everything else we can stream in later. The GameCube also did that. Let's see. DOA games are known for pushing technological limits on systems so on. Yeah. It's Team Ninja's whole design philosophy. It's like that's why, for example, Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, aka Ninja Gaiden DS, used the stylus pen because Itagaki felt like the stylus pen was actually worth doing something with. Whereas he felt like the PSP, another thing he didn't like, was that if a game is gonna be good on the PSP, you may as well do it for like the PS2 or the Xbox or the GameCube. So why would you even make a game for this console? Because the PSP is really just a PS2 that is portable. It does nothing that the PS2 cannot do, so why would I even bother with this machine? It's not interesting. Whereas with the stylus pen, he gave Nintendo some credit where, okay, your technology actually kinda sucks, but I do like the fact that you're trying to innovate. And that's why he picked the Wii U for Devil's Third, because he felt like the Wii U could actually do some pretty cool stuff. No, you don't. So for the Xbox they really liked the Xbox because it could do a lot of interesting things that other consoles just either struggle to do or just straight up couldn't do at all. Oh yeah, the guy explains that he needs to get Genra the drink, and Brad is like, okay, cool, I'll get some. I can taste the wine. He thinks Genra is wine. And then he finds out that Genra is actually a supernatural monster, and he's like, okay, I'll play. Am I really gonna get him like this? Oh! I can't believe how well that worked. Oh my god. I usually struggle so much when trying to beat Genra with Brad. It's so hard to land a hit without him just exploding on you. With this guy, because Brad is so slow and his gimmicks just don't work against Genra at all. I actually tried using the stances, but every time I did, I just got hit by that fucking sword. But yeah. According to the credits of this game, all of these CG cutscenes actually had multiple, like whole teams working on them. And the teams were different teams, like each cutscene had a whole little team dedicated to just that one cutscene. So there's actually multiple people credited for each cutscene. Look to, let's see here, Ann Doyle says, look to how DOA was present from the past to today, from ninjas, fan service and violence to cutesy girls with lollies being the center of attention. My, how times have changed. Oh yeah, they went in really hard with Honoka and Marie, for sure. In DOA, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 3, there's so many characters from the original roster actually just straight up missing. I know my sister is actually a huge fan of Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Not as much, like not so much Dead or Alive proper. She really likes the volleyball games, and she was so disappointed that her main was Tina was not even in the game. Like, she's not even in the game. Like, what? Who do I pick now? I need my super spike. Who actually has the super spike now? Like that. I have my whole strategy is to have Tina on my team. And she's not in the game. What the hell? DOA3 was the most technologically impressive fighting game at the time. It's yeah, I mean, like I said, Dead or Alive 3 was so fucking far ahead of its time that people are still catching up. You can see fighting games today that still can't do some of the stuff that this game does. Instant reset on training mode, tag team battles, the survival mode with no load times between fights. Nobody fucking does this even now. Even now, that's not a thing. That's like, and also one of my favorite things ever in fighting games, when you play with your friends, this fucking game, and also Dead or Alive 2, you know, when you pick, like, you can pick random character versus random character on a random stage. And every time you press rematch, the game will pick 2 more characters and a random stage again, and it will happen fucking instantly. It will just immediately go to the next match. Just immediately go to the next match. No other fighting game does this. Still, they're still not doing that same thing. Like, why is this not a thing in, like, I don't know, King of Fighters, or Street Fighter, or Soul Calibur, or Tekken, or Guilty Gear, or Blaze Blue? Like, nobody does that. It's like, if you want that feature where you actually have some fun with your friends, or even, like, you pick your main, they pick their main, but you pick random stage, and every time you press rematch, the stage changes. Like, Dead or Alive is the only game that does that. Why? This game came out in 2001! And Dead or Alive 2 was doing that shit too. Can't blame her. Sucks to lose a main for a sequel. Yeah, yeah. I missed the tag doubles. Yeah, yeah. Also, one of the things that I like that any developer, like, this is actually not a thing that that is exclusive to these guys. Capcom does this shit as well. One of the things in Dead or Alive 5, you know, when you play on that construction site, where you can knock down the wall and the whole stage slopes, and then you can knock them over the edge, and there's a whole interactable where they can grab the edge of the screen before they fall down, and then it turns into a sort of mini game where you can attack them or land a special grab. They did a special grab for every single character. The only stage in the game that actually uses that mechanic is that one stage. So they did animations, they did special grab animations where you jump off the building and do one of your grabs for every single character, just so they could have that interactable on one stage. That is absolute overkill. Like, they only did that shit because they could. But of course, this is a typical fighting game thing. Capcom does this, SNK does that shit all the time. Like SNK, my other favorite fighting game developer, they did that shit in Samurai Showdown 5 Special, where they added Enja, the Fire Spirit character. He has a fatality where he burns his, he just grabs his enemy, he holds them up, and he sets them ablaze, so they burn to death. And let's see, DOA3 is most awarded DOA game with at least 3%. Yeah, yeah. So, so Enja in Samurai Showdown 5 Special, he has the animation where he has a fatality where he grabs the enemy, he pulls them up, and he sets them ablaze, and he burns them to death. The death animation in that fatality is different for every single character. And that's 2D sprite work. They had to draw that fucking image of the character being set ablaze and being destroyed by the flames. And they have a specific animation for every character in the game, just for one guy to do his fatality. that animation is not used anywhere else. Because he's the only one who actually sets them ablaze and burns them to death. So they had like a guy actually draw animation sprites for every single character so that they could have a unique death animation to one guy who nobody plays in tournaments because he actually sucks. It's Tina or Bass who has the Kobayashi Burning Hammer. Oh, we can look at that. Even DOA have the stairs grab, which is another silly way to punish your opponent. Yeah.
Get ready.
Can't believe that worked. Oh, well, that was quick. Thank you, Tina. He's an old main from this game specifically because DOA3 European version Tina is actually decent. Not top tier material at all, but he has tricks. Got a very annoying running mix-up that is actually pretty hard to deal with, and she's got hit grabs. So, best version of Tina though is probably Dead or Alive 5 when they started giving her the thing where if she catches you doing a hold and she does a grab, the grab turns into one of the better grabs she has because you tried to do a hold. You don't actually have to do like a special command like you had in 4. Because in 4 you actually have to charge up your grab for her to do the better version. But in Dead or Alive 5, it's just you try to do a hold when I try to do a suplex. So instead of a suplex, you get the fucking Burning Hammer. So now you lose 60% of your health instead of 30. Because she does a better throw that does more damage, and it's already a high counter, which adds even more damage. So she can actually kill you in 2 throws. And they also made her moveset super predictable on purpose. So you can see that double mid-kick coming a billion miles away, but you also know that if you try to do a hold, she might do that grab, and suddenly it's the Burning Hammer instead of the suplex. Oh my god! Ah, speaking of pros. There we go with the Bass mix-up. Top tier material. Also his stomp is too good. DOA has the best tag battle mechanics of any other fighting game. They're almost too good. I've seen combo videos of DOA 5 with the tags, and it's just everybody gets fucking death combos. What changes did the European version get? I've been told Bass have a new TOD. Well, I did go through it earlier on the stream. Bass got new moves. Many characters got new moves. Hayate especially, he got like 15 new attacks that he didn't have before. Most notable changes is that many more characters have tag throws with partners. That's like almost a universal change, where for example Christy got a new tag throw that she didn't really have any before. Ooh. Oh shit. They also apparently made it so that sidestepping is better. You can actually avoid shit. It's still hard, but they made it so that you can avoid certain attacks that you couldn't before. Like if you do the 3-step dodge, it actually works sometimes. Let's see. This attack is new. That wasn't in the US version. The double lariat is a new attack. Dio Scott, yeah, like Dio Scott says, you can actually sidestep shit now, which changes the meta dramatically, and also made Kayate even better than he already was. It's still really difficult because when you do multi-attacks, like whole attack strings, it will track again. So the attacks that you can sidestep are generally like the single hit attacks. If they do attack strings, you often get hit anyway, because it will like track again. Kinda like Tekken, but like sort of the other way around. Let's see here. The European version also got a new intro, and everybody got at least one new costume that they didn't have before. The new intro is different from the one that's in the US, where they play an Aerosmith song. The new intro is actually a CG movie. It's not very long, it's like a minute or something, but yeah. Really? Oh yeah, that's apparently a new attack as well that he got. Tina got one of her new moves is that she can do a grab off of the double submarine, which makes that move like infinitely better. So if she gets you with the 2 kicks, she actually has a guaranteed fall. Which makes the double submarine, which is like almost just a bait to like, please try to do the low hold on the third one so I can throw you. And in this version, it's like, if you don't do the low hold on the second one, I can throw you no matter what you do. She just did it. That's a new move. Dead or Alive 3 Plus. Yeah, Dead or Alive 3 Plus is a mod though, it's not the European version, it's somewhere like after that. DOA3 Plus is like if they took the European version and patched it even further. I will say for Tekken, one of the things that they never did very well was actually the tag games, because both Tekken games that are Tekken Tag 1 and 2 are comically broken. They are so unbalanced. Tekken Tag 1, if you're familiar with the main man, he did a whole rundown of Tekken Tag 1, and he talks about one of the top tiers, Devil. It's not Devil Jin or Devil Kazuya, it's just Devil. This guy is a really trash character, but he becomes one of the best characters in the game because he has 2 moves. He has double twin pistons, which is a double mid launcher that is safe on block. And he has the Hell Sweep, which knocks down and gives him perfect Oki, and it's unreactable. Those 2 moves alone make him one of the best characters in the game, and his whole game plan is to just mix these 2 moves up and kill you with just those moves and his juggle combo. So if he knocks you down, he gets a free mix-up with Hell Sweep or double twin pistons again. And if he gets you with one of them, he's gonna do the same shit again and again and again, and it's a fucking perfect mix-up because one of them is unreactable and the other one is safe. And that's his whole game plan. It's like, yes. What about his other moves? Oh, they all suck. He has a decent 10-frame Punisher because he's a Mishima, but that's it. Everything else is like, you're just gonna do these 2 moves and that's gonna be your game plan because it's so good. You really don't need anything else. He does have a pretty cool wall, sidestep too, which does amazing damage, but it's not worth doing because it's like minus 8,000 on block. You should just do the twin pistons. And there's also like other weird shit, like Sebastian Lily's butler being like absolutely horrifically broken online because of dumb shit that is also unreactable. He gets the good sweep and she doesn't. I wonder if Ogre have that infamous grab from Tekken. Oh, he does. He Ogre in Tekken Tag 1 is somehow even worse than he was in Tekken 3. And I mean worse as in he's even more broken. This guy has an unblockable mid that is unreactable because it happens while he's doing another move that is unblockable. I think it's his back 2. His back 2 is just he punches you with his snake arm and then the snake bites you. And the bite is unblockable. And it knocks down and he has terrifying Oki. And he has an unblockable 12-frame combo starter that leads into Oki when you're back turned. 12-frame unblockable that is inescapable that starts combos in Oki. That's like having a jab that you can start combos with that you can't block. I forget what it's called. It's called like Moon something. It's technically a throw. Which is why it's 12 frames. But it's a high. But it's a throw that doesn't have an escape command. So if he does the move and he hits you with it, you get hit with it. There is no way to actually break the throw. And it's still 12 frames. Yeah. Well, I will say that True Ogre in Tekken 3, as a boss, is a fucking cakewalk. Speaking of my sister again, to prove a point about how fucking easy he is to beat, I played the game on hard mode. Played all the way up to where True Ogre shows up as a boss. And then I handed her the controller. She never actually plays Tekken. She still beat him on her first try. And she was using Jin. Like, she had never even played the game before, and she still beat his ass like nothing on hard mode on her first time ever playing the game. Because that guy as a boss is a fucking pushover like I've never seen before. He's still a terrifying character when somebody actually knows how to use him. But as a boss, he's the easiest fighting game boss ever. This is a new move, by the way, that Bayman has. It wasn't in the US version, apparently. I thought that was hella weird. I kept trying to do it in the US version, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. Waning Moon is the grab to use. Oh yeah. Waning Moon, that's the one. 12 frame unblockable. That has guaranteed damage off of it, because you can do, I think it's capital punishment, up forward 1+2, which is guaranteed. And then it knocks them down, and now they're facing the wrong direction, and you have to deal with True Ogre's Oki, which is already so terrifying that it's enough that he gets Oki on you the one time, and that can end the round. Because of all the bullshit he can do. Like, you may never be able to stand up again for the rest of the round. Because he has so many ways to kill you once he knocked you down. And once you get the waning moon, he gets to knock you down when you're in a position where you're, let's see here, face down, feet towards, which is the absolute worst position to be in when the opponent does Oki, because you have to stand up facing away from them. So you can't block for shit. And he already has subs. And of course, once again, because Tekken Tag is broken, he can do just, you know, you stand up, he lets you turn around, and then he hits you with fucking Waning Moon again. Yeah, the snow stage is awesome. Oh, that's actually another thing that this game has. When you select a stage, you can actually modify how some of the stages look by pressing different buttons. So this stage can have like different snow. So there's actually multiple versions of some stages. The Tengu grab. Yeah. The running low. All Bayman needs is an eye patch installed ready to be in King of Fighters. And Doyle says, oh neat, I like that attention to detail for that snow Easter egg. Yeah. I have a bunch of cool stuff. Oh, there's also a thing that was already in Dead or Alive 2. We can't show it now, but in Dead or Alive 2, even in the original, there is a cutscene where Bayman is out walking and he sees a poster of Tina where she's a supermodel and she's posing in like revealing outfits like bikinis and lingerie and stuff. And what ends up happening in the plot is that he tries to rip the poster off the wall, but then he changes his mind because it's still his little girl and she looks cool. And in the ending, it's revealed that he actually grabbed the poster for himself and put it on his wall because, you know, even though he's not a fan of all the people leering over, like, you know, drooling over Tina, it's still his little girl. So, you know, he wants because it's a picture of her that's high quality. Anyway, the thing is that the picture that is shown actually changes every time you play the story again. And there's like 15 of those. So every time you play the game, you get to see this cutscene, and every time there's a new picture of Tina with a new outfit in a different pose, and you can do that shit like I said, like I think it's 15 or 16 times before it actually starts looping again. Which is like super cool, because that's so excessive. That's so excessive. You didn't have to do this, but you did. Bayman witnessing the death of his parents. Yep, that is what that story was about. Let's see how much. We already beat the game with Leon, so we have 6 more characters, and then we'll get the ending. Let's see. We have. Yeah, we can do this. Let's actually check to make sure. Theater, because I do think. Oh, yes. Last time I was playing the US version, so the Ayane run that I did actually doesn't count. Okay, so Jan Lee's up next. We're just gonna keep playing until we got all of the endings. The times when fighting games have ending cutscenes. My favorite is Hitomi. Oh, we'll get to Hitomi. Ah, yes, this stage. Ah, so much damage. This is one of the rare instances where the game might actually lag, because that smoke effect is a bit too heavy. It looks fine for now, though. Be perfectly fair. It's actually one of the few issues I have with this game is that unfortunately the frame rate of the game isn't entirely stable. It's not constantly 60 frames per second. Because some stages and certain interactions will actually cause the game to what would you call it? Kind of like, it almost looks like screen tearing. I think if you're not used to the game, you won't even notice. But after you play the game for a few like, you know, years, like I have, I mean, I've played it on and off for years. After a while, you're so used to what the animation should look like that even a single frame of screen tearing will be like, that's not how that looks. I can tell that the game struggled for like a few microseconds there. Yeah, 15 pictures. Yeah. I think it's 15 or even 16. But outside of that, the cutscene still plays out the same. It's the same cutscene. It has the same Bass walks past a wall, he sees the poster, he starts tearing it down, then changes his mind and collects it instead. And there's so many. And if you had the original DVD on the Xbox, you could actually put that shit on your PC. And all of those images were actually on there, so you could use them as wallpapers. Like, they're actually in a folder that you can just put on your computer. So it actually loads the images from at random from a folder with BMPs that you can actually download and just put on your computer. Ooh. Another great thing about the European version of DOA3 is that the Xbox controller analog stick doesn't deactivate. Oh, okay. I actually had no idea. I didn't try to do that, so I didn't know. Oh, no. Another thing that's also kind of excessive is that when you play survival mode, you can get items that give you extra points. And some of them are standard, like you can get in this one, at least in the original European version. It doesn't seem maybe that's the case here because you technically already unlocked the thing. But like you could get like an Xbox, you can get a star, you can get like a chicken. The chicken gives you health back. The Xbox gives you a guaranteed costume unlock if you don't already have the costume. But then there's free items that you can get that are worth various amounts of points. And the items change based on your character, and everybody has 3 of them. Oh, batteries are low? It's fine. I got replacements. So when you play as Ayane, for example, you get various like sushi rolls. If you play as Tina, you get like guitars and stuff. And if you play as Christy, you get like knives and bazookas and guns. So like every character has like a whole trove of items that only they can get. And there's even an achievement in Dead or Alive 4, which does the same thing. That challenges you to get every single item. And I think there's a total of like 66 different items, like across all the characters. And only like, I think it's like 10 or something that everybody can get. And all of the others are exclusive to that one character. Once again, fighting games doing absolutely excessive things simply because they can. Like, does it make a difference if you get a guitar or a chicken? No. You have to do a whole 3D model for every single thing. So, what good does it do? It's a cool thing that we added because we could, and we used it to show off that we're really good at making games, and you could get our games instead of the other guys. Oh. Ah! The survival mode, knocking opponents into explosive walls, also give you extra points for a couple seconds. Yeah, danger reach and double reach. Double reach gives you, like, it doubles the bonus or something, so you can get, like, really high scores mad quick. Yeah, I also don't know how to play Jan Lee very well. I only know how to play against this guy. Where I grew up, we had 3 fucking Jan Lee mains. I got so much practice avoiding this kick, it was ridiculous. And with every version of Dead or Alive 2 they did, which because we had 3 Jan Lee mains that I played all the time, I noticed that this kick would get a nerf. So in Dead or Alive 2 Vanilla on Dreamcast, it got nerf. It was, you know, the thing. And then in Limited Edition, it got nerfed. It started tracking worse. And then in Hardcore, it got nerfed again. It did like less damage. And after a while, it was this dragon kick. It became so bad that the only thing that it works against is if the opponent just stands there and blocks. Anything, literally anything else will avoid it. If you attack him, if you crouch, if you walk to the side, if you try to do a fucking low throw, anything, even air grabs. The only thing is, like, if you're standing up and blocking, he hits you because it's unblockable. Outside of that, it's just do anything and you'll probably beat the move. So I've seen all of the iterations of that fucking kick. Every time it's like, oh my god, I nerfed it again. It does less damage now. Oh, it stopped tracking. Oh, it stopped beating it stops beating high attacks. You can actually do holds now. It just got worse and worse and worse. I love this scene so much. Jan Lee flexing. You do not want to get on with this guy when he's flexing. These guys also show up in the other endings too. Nunchucks. Nah. I'll show you how to use nunchucks. Yeah! And then he doesn't even try. Guy just runs away. And Jan Lee's like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm just here as the bouncer. Like, these guys were causing problems, so I asked them to step outside. And now that he's running away, I'm gonna go back to my job. Fuck these guys. Okay, Lei Fang. Interesting thing about Lei Fang was Itagaki was actually asked multiple times about the whole thing, like, so we noticed that Lei Fang and, you know, Hitomi, they really seem to have a thing going on. And it almost seems like she's not that interested in Jan Lee after all, because all she seems to care about is beating his ass, while she's doing very suggestive things with Hitomi. What is that all about? Is she like into the ladies? And every time he got asked this, he just said that hey, it's all in the game. It is exactly what you think it is based on what's in the game. Why do you keep asking this? It's in the game. I'm sure you get it. So he never actually he never answered the question. He just kept saying, it's whatever you think is in the game, that's what it is. And it's right there. Are you blind? But he never said anything about. He never actually confirmed anything. He just said you should be able to understand. Why do you have to ask me? Let's see. I remember playing somebody in DOA6 who told me that they had so much experience dealing with Jan Lee's kick that I never hit him. I proceeded to hit him 12 times in one match. Yeah, I'm not gonna go as far as to say that it never will hit me, but I will say that I've had plenty of experience dealing with Dragon Kick spamming Jan Lee players. Years of experience from multiple Jan Lee mains. I will say that the result of that was I respect the character because he's too good to be taken lightly, but I also consider him that it's one of those things where if I can't beat him, that's on me, you know? Like, it's not the character, it's not like I should be able to beat him, and if I don't, that's my fault because I should be able to. I've dealt with him for so long from so many players. So it's like, yeah, okay, I couldn't beat your Jan Lee. Got hit by the Dragon Kick for the 10th millionth time. That shouldn't happen, but it did. Because Jan Lee is still a scary character. He's still pretty good. And if you actually know how to use him, then, you know, there is only so much I can do. Best character. Oh, yeah. Pretty cool, Dan. He's a huge Lei Fang fan. I really like this outfit, the blue one. I like how in this version you don't actually have to pay for the outfit to be blue. You just press a different button, you get a different color. Yeah, in this one, she decides, I'm gonna kick Jan Lee's ass. Because that's my whole oh my god. Speaking of not being able to avoid the Dragon Kick, that shit happened. Lei Fang was a character I tried to make a main in this game because she's really freaking good in this. I like especially that. And also I think this was a new move in this game too. If I can get it. Yeah, this one. That's also a new move added in the European version. In the US version, she does a different throw that always works. In this one, it's one of those two-step moves. You actually have to press the button. It actually makes it so that Lei Fang has the highest damaging normal throw of everybody. I actually had a guide for I actually had a guide for this game that did a bunch of like really cool stats where they did some math, and it turns out that Lei Fang is actually one of the she has some of the highest average damage if you just put all of her moves together. All of the moves together, you divide them by how many moves she has. She actually ends up, I think she even ended up, she was actually on top of all of the female characters, where she had the highest damage average. If you just take how much damage each of her moves do and you divide it by her number of moves. Lei Fang hurts a lot. Like, she doesn't have any like weak sauce moves, like everything just hurts. Even her basic jab does like surprising amounts of damage. Oh, there are those same guys. These guys just fought Jan Li and they decide to kidnap a kid. And then Lei Fang shows up to show them what's what. Once again, crime doesn't pay. You just get beat up. This guy is getting cocky though because he ran away last time. Now he has a knife. And he gets a stiletto in his face for all of his troubles. He always gets beat by Jan Li. Yeah. Let's see. I think also Tina was the character with the highest damaging single move. It was if she does the giant swing out the window on this stage, that's like the highest damage you can possibly get from a single attack. Christy, the new character. The first review I read about this game was that one of the complaints they had was that the new character Christy had an awful taste in fashion, and she had the ugliest outfit of the ugliest set of outfits of any fighting game character. I kind of agree because I don't like any of her outfits in this game. I don't think they're ugly, I just don't like them. Like, this is the only outfit that I pick. They said she was the least fashionable fighting game character that I had ever seen. Let's see, Aria Mikado, but it was part of a mini narrative of Jan Li not exactly being on his game because his focus was skewed, thinking too much about who he actually wanted to fight. Wait. Did we... I think my bot forgot to tell me when the giveaway ended. Let's do that real quick. Oh, okay, that explains it. For some reason, the timer glitched out. So it never said that the giveaway was over. So let me just do that real quick, because that was weird. This has never happened before. It stopped at 1 second. Either way, we're gonna do this manually, because the timer did actually run out. Try this again. Okay, the bot is actually acting up. Hold on. We will do this giveaway. Whether the bot likes it or not. Okay. There we go. Now it works again. Okay, so we have a couple of unusual amount of contestants for the giveaway, so we're gonna do that right now. We have Darren Mirshan, of course. It's a rare opportunity when he is not here. Pretty Cool Dan, Defying Zero, Get Celius, and Tempest TO. I'm gonna tell the bot to pick a winner, and I hope it works this time. Okay, pretty cool, Dan. Congratulations. Does that actually show up properly? Yeah. Pretty cool, Dan has won the Slice of Life bundle. Yeah. Okay, let's. I'm gonna do that real quick, and then we'll get on with beating all of the beating the game with the rest of the characters. I like Christy as a character, definitely, but she has better outfits in the sequel or all of the sequels. In this one, she has weird color choices. If this thing can stop acting up. Go. Okay, yeah, you will get it in your PMs shortly. It's gonna be 2 codes because it's a bundle. This thing can... oh. Let's see here. Looks like I'm gonna end up sending you an extra code. Okay, I think I got it right. Yeah, it was supposed to be 2 codes, but you got 3. That's fine though. Just enjoy the free stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the game. One of the things I like about Christy though is that she actually has a couple of attacks where she's one of the characters that have like the most attacks that are too fast for you to actually do a hold. Like that punch, where like if you get hit by one of them, you will also get hit by the rest of them. She's the character that sort of specializes in that, where you only get the 1 hold attempt. If she actually goes for the whole thing, it's like you actually don't have time to do a hold because there's not enough frame advantage. You will just take all the hits. That was sort of her specialty in this game, where like she was the character that was like super hard to counter, because you didn't even get an opportunity sometimes because the attacks came too close together. I do believe that almost any character can actually do that. Dead or Alive 5 has multiple examples of that, where characters actually have, if they stagger you, they can actually get certain moves to be guaranteed, because they have so many plus frames that you don't actually get to try to do a counter hold. But Christy was the one that, at least the first character that I knew about, where even if I tried doing stuff, it's like, you just can't do a hold here. Even with frame perfect timing, it just doesn't work. He has shit for grabs though. Oh my god. DOA3 was the only time Lei Fang actually beats Jan Li. Yeah, I know she tries again in Dead or Alive 6, and that doesn't work out for anyone. I will say though that the story mode in the Dead or Alive games in general is pretty meh. Like, it starts off pretty well with two. It's a rather standard fighting game. 3 it starts getting pretty good because the cutscenes are freaking amazing, and some of them actually have some cool plot points. And then they start going absolutely crazy in Dead or Alive 4 and actually get some really interesting stories going. And then with 5, it was so obvious that they had no idea how to actually follow up on 4 and actually do a plot. And then in 6, that just continues. They just have no idea how to move the plot forward. The only plot advancement happens with the new characters. Like once Kasumi becomes she's the main character. Once she becomes Helena's little I don't know, maid. That's all she does. She's just there. Really? Dandy definitely wanted to win that tournament. We also have, of course, Hitomi trying to fight Hayate, and that never works out. When you fight one of the ninjas, you better be one of the ninjas yourself or it's not gonna work. And even then, it's hard. Because all of these ninja characters are fucking hardcore. It's only gonna be a fair fight if they fight each other. I really don't know how to play Christy. Jesus, I don't even know what... Oh my god. I mean, it is Ayane, but... Yeah. Let's see... Let me actually have a quick look at the move list. Okay, that's longer than I expected. Oh, okay, there we have. Okay. There's a button I should be using. Oh, wow. Another thing I like about the DOA games is that the AI is actually pretty good. At least for the time. By today's standards, it's actually garbage, but one of the things I like especially is when you play survival mode and it's super obvious that the AI is not actually playing so much, like it doesn't simply react to what you're doing. It's pretty obvious that the AI actually starts making guesses based on what you did previously. So when you play survival mode in this and 4 and 5, you can actually mix the opponent up and actually have it work. Like if you try to do Hitomi's like punch Iron Fist, the AI will start reacting to that, but then it will actually start doing a hold as if you were actually going to try to do the Iron Fist, even when you do a guard cancel and then try to do like her special command throw. That is actually very rare to see in. It was very rare to see in fighting games before, where the AI, you know, it didn't simply just read your inputs and react accordingly like it's a fucking Mortal Kombat walking AI, but it was actually doing guesses based on your moveset and how you did mix-ups before. I thought this was really cool, like actually seeing the AI try to do a hold based on a guess. Like, you always do this sequence, and then you always do this sequence. So if I get hit by your low again, I'm gonna do a mid-hold, because you always do the mid-launcher. And then you throw them, and you get a high counter, and the AI is like, fuck. You mixed me up. I thought you were gonna do the thing that you did 5 times in a row, and then you didn't. MK Walker AI is classic. What do you mean? Yeah, MK Walker AI. Well, actually, MK Walker AI is the absolute worst example, because MK Walker AI doesn't even play the game. It plays a different game than you are. It does not apply the same rules. Like, if I do a combo with, say, Cyrax, and I'm the AI, I'm gonna make it so that I do not apply damage scaling. But if you do the same combo, it's literally gonna do less damage because you have to put up with damage scaling. Because I cheat. SNK AI plays you. Speaking of, I hope that Rugal is back as King of Fighters 15 boss. I don't actually know this for sure, but I really hope he does come back, because I want the kids of today to know the suffering, that is the pain that is inflicted when you get hit by the goddamn genocide cutter. I've been saying that shit for years. I want this guy to come back. I want him to have the genocide cutter. I want the hitbox to cover the entire screen, and I want the damage to be 65% per hit. And also it needs to be completely invincible. You know, like in the old days. King of Fighters 94, he does one genocide cutter and that's a dead character. I want that shit to come back. Other people need to suffer like I have. Also, I was thinking of making maybe like a tier list of the most asshole-ish SNK bosses, or even just the King of Fighters bosses in terms of like how hard they actually are. I already know what I'm gonna put at the bottom, because that would be Verse from King of Fighters 14, who is just a regular character with bullshit AI. Like, he really isn't. He just plays the game with like MK Walker AI. Like, that's the only thing that makes him any threat at all. But he really is just a regular character with boss AI. And then after that, there is King of Fighters 2000, Clone Zero, who is such a fucking pushover. Any team can beat him if they know how to grab. Anyone with a throw, which is everyone on the roster, can steamroll this guy. I'm surprised at how easy he actually goes down. Like, you can pick any character that you're proficient with and you can beat him with that character. The guy is super susceptible to grabs for some reason. And also a bunch of other shit, like he can get hit by, I mean, Clark just eats that guy alive for free. Ralph can hit him with Galactica Phantom. Whip can do Assassin's Dagger like 25 times in a row and win. Leona can just do basic fucking combos. Athena can space him out with fireballs and DPs. And then, of course, when we're playing King of Fighters, the hardest boss probably as much as some of the King of Fighters bosses are such eating scumbags. Fucking Ignis, though. He's the only character that I know from a fighting game that has a fucking TOD, and he knows he has a TOD, and he knows how to do it. So when you fight Ignis in King of Fighters 2001, this guy can and will kill you whenever he feels like. Every time this guy hits you, he might decide he's gonna do the TOD, and that's just the round. He's just gonna kill you. Because he knows he has one and he knows how to do it. That is terrifying AI. Like, he knows how to do the fucking infinite. The AI actually does the infinite sometimes. It just like whips you to death. Yeah, Helen's fighting style is awesome. He's a character that shouldn't work this well in the game because of how one-note she is. Like, everything she does is a fucking medium punch. But then she has amazing grabs and amazing frames. Like her stance. It's like, because she has such good throws and her throws lead into more setups, even though she has like, she's mid-punch lady, she's still pretty scary to play against, because once she actually decides to switch things up and it works, things get really bad. Oh my god. SNK bosses are a nightmare. Yeah. But that, like I said, some of them are actually not as bad. Like I said, King of Fighters 2000 Clone Zero. He's one of the probably the easiest King of Fighters boss. He's not even that hard to beat. You can probably beat him just casually once you just figure out how he works. He has so few advantages over you that the fact that you have 3 people on your team actually negates most of it. And that's regardless of difficulty. It doesn't really matter if he's playing on MDS or like level 8. He's not actually that bad. And any team can beat him. Wow, this is... Okay. So we're on a slope, but I can't avoid the fireballs because they go up. Ah. Oh yeah, she can also delay her attacks for a very long time. Oh, I can't see. Genra the gamble. There we go. Okay. We're almost done. We just need to beat this guy 3 more times. There we go. Then we'll get the amazing credit scene. Ah. Yeah, everybody liked Helena. Everybody liked Helena. When I played DOA2 back in the day, everybody had a pocket Helena. She was the most popular character. They either liked her for her looks, or her gameplay, or her stances, or her combos, or, you know, like the works. Everybody had a pocket Helena. This cutscene definitely aged a little though. Like, what is up with that hair? That dog looks amazing. The water looks amazing. But her hair? What is that? Just screams early 2000s 3D. Yeah, most SNK bosses you have to have extremely specific strategies to beat. I've seen people play the various like Mukai, Magaki, Ignis, Rugal. Like they all involve like really bullshit strategies or like really dumb tricks. Like King of Fighters 94 Rugal, like I've seen so many people beat him by simply baiting the Genocide Cutter by doing like hyper hops just outside of its range and then punishing him for doing it. And that's like the only thing they do because it's the only thing they can do. It's the only strategy that seems to work consistently. Unless you have like specific characters. Like with Magaki in King of Fighters 11, Momoko owns his fucking soul for free. She's the only character I know that can beat him like easily, because she has certain moves that just like it just destroys his whole game plan. He just cannot deal. Like if you have meter, you can get the Kamehameha wave thing for free every single time. Like it's just free damage. He never knows how to deal with that. And for some reason you can hit him with the Rekka way more often than you should be able to because he doesn't know how to deal. And of course in King of Fighters 2001 you have every character that has an OTG can infinite him in the corner, which includes Takuma and Bao. You just knock him down in the corner, you do your OTG move, and you do your OTG move, and you just do that until he's dead. Kim Kaplan also has that as well. Which is obviously a bullshit strategy by just exploiting the fact that you can infinite him with a move if your character has that move. That move is too good. That move is so good. The fucking flip.
Get ready.
Like even the AI doesn't know what to do with that. It knows how to do everything else, but not this move. No one can get in the way of Hayate. Kurei. We're so close, we're so close. Took a bit longer than I expected, but soon we'll get the credits.
Get ready.
Oof, 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 oof. DOA3 has the best soundtrack in the franchise. Also, the 3 Aerosmith songs give the soundtrack a boost. Yeah, I was so disappointed when Dead or Alive 5 came out and it turned out they didn't have an Aerosmith song in the soundtrack. I was like, what? I mean, I like the music, but no Aerosmith song? That's like a tradition. Stop. That's so sad. That was like one of the best parts. I still cannot hear the song Amazing by them on the radio and not think about Helena's ending in Dead or Alive 4. Because that ending is fucking epic. It is also one of the reasons why I like Zack so much, despite not actually playing him. Oh shit, I killed myself. You know, because of the thing he does at the end, and I'm like, I am forever grateful to you, kind sir. I don't like you as a character. I don't like your moveset. But, I would be very sad to see you go. Yeah. Yeah, the rap was what I was thinking of. Like, the rap is actually very cool. But, it's not Aerosmith, so it's like, I really like this song, but, where's Amazing, though? And we have another cutscene. And now after this one, we'll go for the last one, and we'll actually end up on the canonical ending. The one in the gym. Cyber ninjas. Yeah. Without Aerosmith on Dead or Alive, it's just And I'm sure they could get a deal with Aerosmith. Like, they license their songs all the time. They can't be that expensive. It has to be that they just, I don't know, didn't want to, or it would be too much work or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, here we go. Final character, final ending, and now we will get that Aerosmith though, because it's still in the game. It will probably be muted in the VOD, but I don't care. It's in the game. What am I supposed to do? Turn off the credit scene? Nah, Twitch, I don't think so. So if you're here live, you'll actually get to hear the tune. And I will shut up when that happens. Ayane is a character that I played quite a bit, and I love this dirty move. This thing, when you get the free torpedo. Because you can't counter the torpedo in this game, so you could just spam this attack. It's so hard to punish because you have to turn around. Yeah. She does have a, let's see here, she has some like weird combos in this, but her B&B I can definitely do. It's just, I will kill Gunra, nobody will stop me. I cannot let you have this one. Wait, that's how you do it. And she has the back for the 4K. This fucking attack. It is the ultimate, like, nah. Nah. You try to press buttons? Nah. This fucking kick. This fucking kick. Oh yeah, because if you counter this, successfully do a hold on the torpedo, she ends up behind you, but she's turned around. And Ayane likes when she's back turned, because that means she gets faster everything. Longer combos, faster jabs, and a grab. Oh yeah, you can also do a little dance in this. Ayane, her counter drill. Yeah, I was so sad when they nerfed that move. I like when you can just do this for free. Oh. Ooh. Missed. Ooh, that angle. Ah, no. That's not the denier. First kick guard. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, oh. Always causing trouble for your sister. Oh shit.